Hello, hello. We are live. All right, all right. We are live. Good evening. Good evening, Facebook. So, for those who are watching live, as well as those who are watching the replay, it is Tuesday night. And on Tuesday nights, I have been having Propensities of Success by Dr. Teresha Lee. And what does that mean? It means that I am tapping on the shoulders of some of the most influential people in their fields and asking them to share a bit of their success, share some of the propensities that have propelled them in their areas. What are propensities? They're just habits, characteristics, traits. We all have them. Some are innate, but some can also be taught or learned. So I have with me this evening Coach Ebony Nicole, an amazing writing coach who is going to help us birth those writing projects that a lot of us have been sitting on, a lot of us have been thinking on. I'm sure there are people out there who have said for ages now, I'm going to write a book. I'm going to write a book. And then once it's time to, they're like, okay, where do I start? What do I do? I am here to save you tonight. We are going to get firsthand from the coach how we can successfully move towards that goal of being an author in 2020. We're not waiting till 2021, 2022. We want to do it now. How are you tonight, coach?
I am doing wonderful. Thank you so much for asking, and thank you for even giving me your platform, share your platform with me this evening to help the people learn to how to effectively execute the writing of their book. I am excited because with COVID-19, there is nothing but a lot of downtime, and this is the perfect time to take advantage of it.
It is. It definitely is. And I have to tell you, people were excited about this. I got messages. I got people saying, well, okay, so tell me how she can help me with my book. I said, you got to watch Tuesday. You got to come on in Tuesday. So they are ready. So let's go ahead and dive right in.
Yeah.
Tell us about you, coach. Tell us about your business. Tell us who you are for those that don't know you.
Yeah, so for those that do not know me, my name is Ebony Nicole Smith. I am the writing coach to clergy consultants as well as other coaches. My business is Ebony Nicole Smith Consulting LLC, which is a boutique writing and publishing company. I specialize in the production of books based off of one's life experience. It has been a tremendous journey for me, and not in a bad way, a beautiful journey thus far. I've been in business approximately 4 years now. June 16th was my 4 year anniversary. I'm excited about that. I have thus far published 20 clients, and I have three that are right now actively writing.
Wow.
Yes, and for myself, I have published 10 of my own books.
Oh,
uh
okay.
yeah, it has been an amazing journey. So altogether there's 30 books under my belt. I like to think I'm a bit of an expert in this arena.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Listen, that's 30 more than some of the people watching who have a
Yes.
million ideas in their mind, right?
Yes. Yep.
So you are definitely a voice that they need in their life right now so they can go ahead and birth this book.
Push. I'm here.
Yes,
I
yes.
tell people I'm a midwife. I'm a book midwife. So if you
Love
are
it.
ready to push, and as long as you are open to taking instruction and correction and have me asking you a lot of questions, then you can definitely do it. You can definitely
Yeah,
do it.
yeah. Well,
Because it's
hey,
not
the
hard.
good coaches provide instruction and
Yeah.
correction, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because my goal for every client is to bring out the best in their story. So,
Absolutely.
some would say, I'm a good writer. Well, you can always be better. If you're a better
Uh-huh.
writer, you could be greater. If you're greater, you could be exceptional. So,
I
there's
love that.
always a way
Always
to
going
improve.
higher.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Well, listen, coach, tell me this because I know there are a lot of people who have attempted to write books on their own
Yeah.
or have even started. Excuse me. There are people out there who maybe have manuscripts but haven't successfully been able to finish that book
Hmm.
or really see that dream through. So, can you start by telling us what are some of the common mistakes you see people making when it comes to trying to write a book?
There's two things, and they're both dealing with time.
Okay.
One would be setting unrealistic time frames. Today
Mhm.
is what the 20th, 21st, I believe it is. Today's
The
the
21st.
21st.
Uh
It's been the 21st all day. Look.
huh.
Today, July 21st, and they'll say, I want to publish my book in October.
Hmm.
October? Okay, so that means that every single day as your writing coach, I expect for you to send me maybe every other day a completed chapter. That's
Hmm.
the only way your book will be available in October, because and you have to have your manuscript completed and to me no later than the 31st of August, so that I can then
Okay.
spend a month publishing. If you cannot commit to that strenuous time frame, then that's unrealistic. The
Okay.
other half of time is not setting a time frame, not setting a deadline. Deadlines and goals are very, very important. What I talk to my clients, I always, say, what is your ultimate goal is to become a published author. When would you like to see that come to pass? Depending on what they say, depending on the status of their manuscript, will work with them with that time frame to
Mhm.
give them help them set realistic time frames and goals, and then we'll break it down into smaller obtainable goals that do not seem overwhelming. So
Okay.
those are two common mistakes, well actually one, but in two different spectrums, either
Yeah.
setting unrealistic time frames or not setting one at all.
Okay.
Another one that I come in contact with is people who want to, when it comes to writing a story about your life, they want to just dump everything into their life story. Well,
Tell it all.
tell it all, but I would say this: not everyone is Malcolm X. So not
Okay.
everyone, and that's okay. It's not a bad thing because I know I'm not Malcolm X. So every detail of my life is not noteworthy. And so I'm not
Right.
trying to say that your life is not noteworthy. I'm just saying, is there an audience for
Uh-huh.
every detail of your life? If
Okay.
not, then you choose those particular things that you want to discuss that
Hmm.
has an audience. Point case
Okay.
in point, Michelle Obama. She has Everybody wants to know about this woman's life. So
Hmm.
in her case, she has an audience, a platform where she can share all of those intimate details.
Yeah.
It all depends on your audience and your actual status.
Okay. So some
Whether
people are creating these unrealistic timelines
yeah,
where they want to write a book in 30 days, but they want to include their whole life in those 30 days
yeah,
and get
yeah,
okay. So I can see
yeah,
how that could keep people from actually going through with their goal. So
yeah,
scaling back maybe and setting
yes,
reasonable goals.
absolutely,
Okay,
absolutely.
okay. So now that we've covered the most common mistakes,
Hmm.
talk to them about how you can help them and how you actually can see them on a successful journey to becoming a published author.
So it's not difficult. I'm to be honest with you, to become a published author is an easy journey if you are ready, willing, and able to do the work. Sometimes we say, you know what, I've been thinking about this book for years and I just want to hop into it and get it done.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to start from the foundation. The foundation for me is what I always get into with my clients is why. Why do you want to write this book? And some would say, oh, I have a story to tell. No, that's not enough for me.
Hmm.
Why? Your why should be an internal reason and an external reason. Once we
Okay.
understand your firm why, your why will keep you going. When you run into those writer's blocks, or when life you and things just happen and you feel like I can't go on, remembering your why you started, why this is important to you, why the internal reason, why the external reason will be what you need to keep going.
Yeah.
Upon that foundation, it's what is it that your readers are going to take away from your book? So even if it's just straight entertainment, like I have one of my clients is her name is Yolanda Smiles. She's a nationally and internationally known comedian. She's
Hmm.
very funny, and so she was like, "I want to write a book." So we were talking, and her book is an urban literature, urban lit. From that book, I'm telling you, it's really, really good. It's called Big Mama's a True Trap Queen. And when you read it,
Okay.
it's like, it's actually, I'm honest, it's really good. It really is. And it has a lot of drama and ups and downs and climaxes in there. But when she told her story, it felt like you were really there. And although it was an entertainment book, You still
Mhm.
walked away with something. And so when I tell clients or ask them, after that person closes out your book, what is it that they should have gotten from you?
Mhm.
Especially when it comes to writing a book about your life, which is what the majority of my clients have done. What is it that I'm going to learn? What is it that you're sharing with me that will inspire me, motivate me, catapult me to my next level? What is it? So these are some things that we sit down and we talk about, and we discuss these important factors because they
Okay.
are very important in helping you build up your story. And as your writing coach, as we journey through your book, through your life story, you write the chapters. I'm there with you. You write your
Mhm.
chapters, and then I get it, and I do what is called creative development. This can be a little harsh, but
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. A little
I
tough love is
literally,
coming.
I do listen because I'm telling you, I'm going to pull the best out of you, and pulling the best, it hurts. It's like pulling the tooth without
Mhm.
Novocaine, because
Oh.
I'm not going to be, no, no, I'm going to tell you. So
Oh.
I'm not just going to be, oh, this is great. And maybe we could do a little, but like, no, what does this mean? You wrote this. I don't understand it. It was just a thought that was maybe incomplete.
Okay.
Something, I do this because I want my authors, and I call them my authors. They're mine because
Uh-huh.
I want them to have a thick skin. Okay.
Okay.
So when I do the creative development, I fill in any gaps that are there based on conversation and understanding. And then if there are some that I do not understand, cannot fill in, then I'm asking questions on the margins of the paper or of the document and
Okay.
asking my client to go back in. And sometimes what I notice is that when people want to talk about their lives, they want to be surface. They want to give you enough just to get your
Uh,
palate wet.
yeah.
No, not with me. It's either you jump all the way in and you quench that thirst, or you do nothing. And
Okay.
so some people may not be prepared or in a mental space, emotional, healthy space to share some aspects of their life. So that's another avenue that we address in the journey.
Mhm.
Uh, I would say I had this one client who actually still working on her book, and she thought she was ready to discuss the physical abuse she suffered at the hands of her ex-husband. But
Mhm.
that chapter was so devastatingly hard for her. And I said, well, if you're not ready, baby, don't do it.
Yeah.
It's seriously, it's okay. But
Yeah.
because I don't want you to be at a place where you cannot move through this because it's too much of a trauma.
Yeah.
But at the same time, and this is what I talk to her about, is if along this journey you gain the strength to revisit that chapter,
Mhm.
then we can do so. But in the meantime,
Understand.
get it off to the side, because I don't want
Understand.
you to be back in that trauma where you're not in a healthy place to you're ready to address it. But
Yeah.
on the other side is what you aren't ready to address could be the one thing to make you break free of what's holding you.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. And that sounds like the trait of a good coach who is looking
Mm-hmm.
at it full circle and not just,
Absolutely.
okay, get this document completed, but
Mm-hmm.
actually journeying with them
Yep.
through the pain and the healing, and
Yep.
maybe saying some of this we can wait for another time when you actually are ready, because you're absolutely
Mm-hmm.
right. The moment those words hit the page, you open yourself up to judgment, you open yourself up to criticism,
Exactly.
you open yourself up to
Yep.
other people's opinions about your
Yes, you do.
situation.
Yes, you do.
And while you're giving tough love, some people are just tough with no love. So so that can certainly be hard. But I also want to ask, for those people who may not think they're ready for a book, but they may be ready for a devotion or a journal, or maybe even say, you know what, I actually need help with just writing manuscripts for my sermons or a dissertation. How can a writing coach benefit those people as well?
When it comes to writing anything outside of your life story, there are aspects of your content that you want to organize. So what I would recommend doing is creating an outline. jotting down the specific points that you want to make in your book. And then that from there, you would then go make sub points. And those are the topics that, so like, how can I put it? So let's say you're doing a devotional about love, happiness, and faith. So you have these three topics that you're going to address, and then you would just make bullet points that everything have to do with love. These
Mm-hmm.
things that, scriptures that you want to talk, maybe mention about love, scriptures about faith, and what was the other one I said? Whatever the third one is, I forget. Whatever that third scripture, the other scripture that
Uh-huh.
will benefit that topic. So you're taking that outline and you're crafting your story in your book in that manner. You're
Okay.
making sure those details only specific to your outline is included, and
Mm-hmm.
that will keep you on track from venturing off to things that do not matter or aren't a part of your subject matter.
Okay. Okay. I like it. I like it. So, at what point should people reach out to a writing coach? Do you reach out before you start? Do you reach out once you actually have a manuscript to turn in? Or is it when you get the idea? What point should they start reaching out?
Well, for me for me as a writing coach, any of those positions will work for me. So if you just have the idea, but before I say this, you have to come prepared with really prepared to ready, willing, and able to work. I
Okay.
can only motivate you if you are already self motivated. If you
Okay.
say, I just want to write a book, but there's no motivation behind it, there's
Mhm.
nothing I can really work with.
So, what you're
So,
saying is there a difference between a coach and an accountability partner? You're not their accountability partner?
I'm not accountability partner.
Okay. We might need to make that
No,
very clear.
absolutely. Thank
Okay.
you. That's what it would be. I'm not accountability partner. I,
Okay.
yeah, I will not. I will ride you and say, hey, where is my chapter?
Uh-huh.
I see you're on social media. Are you working on your chapter right now? Are you
Uh-oh.
taking, did you take a break? Is this your break? Because you've been on there for an hour. And I've been
Uh-huh.
on there as well, but I see that you could be writing right now. So
Uh-huh.
I do things like that just to let them know I'm watching, one. And two, I do care that how you spend your time and, make sure it is structured. But
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to the point of when you should reach out to a writing coach, it all depends on that particular writing coach stop not style, but when they are accepting clients. So for
Okay.
me, I've had people come when they just had the idea, and 6 months later, here's a physical book.
Okay.
Then I had some with just the rough draft, like rough.
Emphasis on the rough.
rough
Okay.
draft of their book. And I'm telling you, all this is okay. All this, I
Uh-huh.
actually love it. I'll be honest with you. I actually love this. And
Uh-huh.
so then I've have clients that come to me, their book is ready to be published. And I'll go through it and I'll, make some suggestions. But for the most part, they're ready. And those are typically my poets
Mm-hmm.
are typically the ones who are ready to go ahead and be published. I will read their work and give suggestions. Maybe move this over here, and maybe if there is no structure as to the flow of it, then I will
Okay.
recommend that. But poets are typically, and those who have devotionals are typically ready for publishing.
Okay.
But those who just have the idea or a rough manuscript, I'm be honest, those are my favorite because I get to dive so deep into their story with them. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and it becomes for the both of us, more so for them, therapy. Because
Okay.
there are some parts of their story that we will discuss that may not even make it into the book. Just like with my client, how she was, wrestling with the abuse from her former husband and whether or not to put that in her book.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes therapy. We talk
Yeah.
this out. I am able to gain their trust, and then by doing that, create an atmosphere that they're safe to talk to me in. And
Wow.
so
Okay.
that is, and so they know I'm your coach. I always tell them I'm your coach for life. There's anything you need after, yes, we're done with your book, but I'm your coach for life. Like I have one client, she's like, Coach, I sold out all of my books. I had to buy more. And I'm like,
Oh, wow.
yes, let's
Uh-huh.
celebrate. Like, yes, buy more books and sell those. And she just texted me today and told me her books got picked up in a bookstore that she lives in New York City, and her friend
Okay.
owns a bookstore, and her books are going to be there. And I'm like,
Nice.
yes, excited.
Nice.
So I love it.
Yeah.
At any point, wherever
Okay.
you are in your journey is where I can help you. You just
That's
have to be
awesome.
really ready, because when I say ready, I've had people start, they made a deposit, we're going, let's go. And then I'm emailing and calling, hey, what's going on? Is everything okay? You know, whatever. Oh,
Mhm.
coach, I can't do it because of this. Okay. Well, when you're ready, I'm always here. You
Yeah.
paid your deposit, so you're here. You're When you're ready, let me know.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing. I don't know how other people do it, but I've had 3 clients that I published. 2 I published already, and one that will be published next month. All 3 of them started in 2018 with me.
Uh-huh.
And life happened, things happened, and they had to, they couldn't proceed. And so all this time I would check in on them. Hey, how's everything going? And one had a baby, one had lost her grandpa, another lady had open heart surgery twice, I believe. And so life
Wow.
happened and they could not proceed, from our initial talk in 2018. But
Yeah.
each of them reached out to me in January and said, I'm ready, coach, I'm
Right.
ready.
Let's
So
go.
yes, and that's what I tell people. When we get on a call for our consultation, I can hear the excitement in their voice. I can hear that they are ready.
Mm-hmm.
But I ask them, are you ready?
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
difference between being ready and then ready, because we have
Yeah.
work to do.
Yeah. It's a
And
commitment.
so
It's
it
certainly a
is.
commitment.
It is. You have to make it a priority. I prioritize my day into five top priorities. And if my priority is number 6, I don't care if it get done or not, but my top 5 has to get done. And
Yeah.
so I instruct my clients, make this, depending on their life, and what their responsibilities are, make it your top priority of the day, to get at least 30
Get some
minutes to
writing
an
done.
hour of writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you're working with them in many ways. You're actually going through that journey with them,
Absolutely.
helping them heal, but helping them to organize and articulate what
Hmm.
they've gone through in a way
Hmm.
that we can actually take it in and digest it. But it
Hmm.
also sounds like you're giving them that tough love, but when life happens, there's still that compassion that says, okay, listen, let's put this on hold for now, and then we'll come back to it. I think there's so many people out there with stories to tell. I think there's so many people out there who are sitting on ministries and
Yeah.
testimonies that people really need to hear. And what I want to do now, because this is just an appetizer, I told Ebony, I said, this is not going to be a long interview because this is an appetizer. If they want more of you, all of you, they got to go to your website. They have to connect with you because they already know I need to talk to her now. I need to
Hmm.
talk to her now. So what I want you to do is tell people how they can connect with you, how they can find out how they can get you as their writing coach.
Yep. So if you would like to work with me, which I am more than happy to, so let's talk. You can go to my website, www.ebonynicolesmith.com. It's currently under construction. My web designer, she is fantastic. I saw the preview of my site, and let me tell you, I cannot wait for August with the launch. But you go onto my website, ebonynicolesmith.com, and you
Smith.com.
click on contact, and then you have access to my calendar. You choose what date and time you want me to be available for you, and then I'll give you a call and we'll talk. And that's just simple as that. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I just want to, let's talk. And if you find that our conversation is what you need, beyond our conversation, what you need is you can find with me, and you are secure in that I can help you achieve that, then we proceed from there with getting you set up to have your book completed this year. and I would say not, well, we're in July. So depending on the status of your manuscript
Uh-huh.
will determine if it can be published this year. And
Yeah.
so I want to set that realistic expectation
Uh-huh.
depending on the status of it. I don't know what the status of it. So you might have a rough draft. When I look at it, I'm like, whoo, we need some work.
A rough,
So
rough draft.
some rough draft, and that's okay. Like I don't expect. This is how I'll put this, and I hope I don't get any kickback for this. You know how the in church, they say you come as you are, and God will
Mm-hmm.
clean you up.
Mm-hmm.
So you come to me as you are, and I will clean you up. I will clean up your writing.
Well, all
I
right.
promise you, that's it. Simple as that. So you don't have to be
Okay.
perfect. I'm not asking for you to be perfect because when we are done, I'm gonna clean your writing up and I'm
Uh-huh.
gonna make you perfect. So you
All
come
right
as
now,
you
the
are.
stevia of writing.
Yes.
The Come on now. Come on, get them, clean them up, get them together.
Clean them up. That's what I'm gonna do for you.
Well, this has been Propensities of Success by Dr. Tarisha Lee, where every Tuesday at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time, we interview influencers who have excelled in their area of study, and we introduce them to you so that you can connect with them and you too can learn the propensities to succeed in that area. Today, we have talked with Coach Ebony Nicole Smith, a writing coach extraordinaire who has published at least 30 books. She has authors in bookstores, authors on Amazon, online. She is walking the walk and talking the talk. She also is a published author, and it sounds like she is doing a phenomenal job. If you want to connect with her, make sure you go to her website, ebonynicolesmith.com, and get her information and connect with her and let her know I saw you live and I knew I needed to connect with you. So write that down, go to the website now, make your appointment. She'll organize it for you. She'll get you a realistic timeline, right? Realistic, and make you a
Absolutely.
published author. So thank you so much,
You're
Coach.
welcome. You're
I
very
appreciate
welcome.
your time. And I look forward to seeing you posting more authors that you're working with throughout the year.
Yes, I'm excited. I have my authors are thebomb.com. They are working hard, and no matter what, they're like, Coach, I'm excited, but this,
Uh-huh.
let's talk. And
Yeah.
this is one thing I do is before we start, we pray.
Yeah.
Before we start, we pray. And I, even with my coaching calls, I don't know what people's religion is or anything like that, but I welcome my father into the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's always there. So
And look at that.
yeah,
Leave a little room for
absolutely.
Jesus too, because listen, for some
Yes.
of us, for some of you, let me go on and put myself in it too. It takes the Lord to get us through some of these writing projects.
It
Okay?
does. It
So
does.
don't leave them out. You need them.
Absolutely. And he doesn't mind. The Lord loves to be in every
Not
conversation,
at
okay?
all.
Because he
Not at
shows up
all.
all the time.
There you go. Ready, ready.
Yep.
He's like, all right, come on. Me and you, we're going to get this writing done. But get your coach too,
Absolutely.
okay?
Yes.
EbonyNicoleSmith.com. You all, thank you for watching. Ebony, again, I appreciate you
Thank
and your
you.
time. And you guys have a great evening. I will see you again next Tuesday at 6:30 with another influencer. Have a great night.
Have a good one.